This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we'll tell you all about a special surprise a Vietnam veteran received when he made a stop in our area. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for your time. I'm Ken Kara, and I want to read you our local headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. In 1941, then President Franklin Delano Roosevelt called it a date which will live in infamy. Today marks 74 years since the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Yesterday, the Monoy Area United Veterans held its annual ceremony to remember those lost in that surprise attack on American soil. A wreath was placed as part of the program at the Monoy City Veterans Memorial. The nonprofit organization Wreaths Across America travels to every national cemetery in the United States to place a Christmas wreath on the stones of our fallen heroes. On Saturday, members of Voices for the Fallen welcomed one of those trucks as it made its way through our area en route to the Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia.
It's important, and it's for people to honor and remember always, you know, all the people that sacrificed and that came before us and that are still sacrificing, even the ones that are still living. They're still sacrificing too with their post-traumatic stress and the injuries that they sustained in combat, so on and so forth. And it's important that we teach our children the sacrifices that our veterans make for us every day.
Cinders Hunsicker and her husband Walt represent the organization known as Voices for the Fallen. Their group, along with two others, a Heroes Welcome NEPA and Warriors Watch Riders NEPA, joined forces Saturday with local fire departments to provide a special escort for the truck carrying the wreaths. During a stop at the Turkey Hill Minute Mart in Humboldt, they surprised the truck's driver, Edward Zazowski, who was a Vietnam veteran, and his fiancée with a plaque for their dedication to our fallen heroes. Everyone here at FYI extends our thanks to Edward for driving this special truck and to everyone who took the time to honor Edward and all veterans on Saturday. I found out about that special surprise when Cinders and Walt were here in our studio to talk about Voices for the Fallen. Here's the interview I did with them. I'm joined now by a married couple that do so much for our local veterans and also, I guess, veterans all over. This is Cinders and also Walt Hunsicker. And guys, we appreciate you being here. We're going to hear their story a little bit and learn all about your group. It's called Voices for the Fallen. Let's start with you, Cinders. You are a veteran. You served in the Gulf War back in the early 90s. And why was this so important to you? You went through a hard spell yourself, so you know what it's like for veterans who are out there and struggling right now.
There's a lot of veterans out there that think people don't care anymore. There's a lot of homeless vets. I was homeless once myself. It was short-lived. It was only about 2 months, but it was still a struggle. It's very depressing. You get into a downward spiral, and you just can't seem to get out of it.
What is your experience when you interact with people who maybe didn't serve, who want to help out? I think sometimes they get, I don't want to say nervous, but sometimes they don't know how to act. I mean, how do you try to bridge that gap?
Some people, you're right, really don't know how to act, especially around the female veterans. They're fine with the male veterans, but when you tell them that you served, they sort of look at you funny and don't know how to act and seem to be a little surprised or taken aback, but that they don't realize that women have been serving in combat roles since the Revolutionary War.
Is there veterans around here, homeless veterans right around in our area?
Oh yes, there's quite a few of them. I know for a fact that there are some back in Tent City.
All right, so some to take care of right here in our area. And Walt, your family has a military background. You were telling me your brother, your dad, maybe even beyond that. Tell us about Voices for the Fallen. What do you guys try to do for these vets? Do you do collections? What's all going on with the group?
Well, the one thing we do for the homeless vets is we try to get donations pretty much any way we can, whether it's sleeping bags or warm clothing, you know, brand new socks, undergarments and stuff like that, and also food. That's always a big help.
And you guys are doing something interesting right now. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm thinking of it when you said food. That right now, local hunters with deer meat, they could help you out. How can they help out with that?
Yeah. Well, they could donate any portion of their deer meat that they don't want to eat or just want to donate, or they could donate the whole thing just like I'm doing and donate the whole thing to them.
And how do they do that? If they want to do that, how can they do that?
They could get a hold of the Valor Clinic.
Okay.
Because they help, that's one of the best ones I'm aware of, because they don't just help the homeless vets out, they don't turn anybody away.
I mean, he kind of hit on food and donations. Do you guys do anything else? What other events do you guys do as a group? Do you guys do motorcycle rides or anything like that?
Yes, we participate in rides when we're invited. Our biggest thing that we do is try to honor the fallen. A lot of people seem to forget all through the year. The fallen matter also. You know, they paid the ultimate price for us. People only seem to honor them on Memorial Day. And you can honor them all year long. You can honor their brothers that are still alive by just extending your hand and saying thank you for your service and welcome home, especially to our Vietnam vets.
Two people doing so much for our veterans. Thank you to them. In other news tonight, there was a special first at First Friday in Hazleton on Friday night. For the first time ever, the tree in the new Center City Park was lit for the Christmas season. Of course, the mayor was there and other important dignitaries were on hand as well, including a representative from the North Pole.
He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake.
Kids of all ages came out to see Santa, enjoy the horse-drawn carriage rides, activities, entertainment, and more that were all part of this month's First Friday celebration in downtown Hazleton. Here's Mayor Joe Yanuzzi speaking at the tree lighting ceremony.
The world has a lot of dark spots. Let us take the time to enjoy those bright spots and wish that everyone in the world would be surrounded by lights to give them a bright future full of hope.
Other activities on Friday included a performance of The Happy Elf at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts and Seasons Beating, a free pro wrestling stunt show at the Sanctuary Stunt Studio, so there truly was something for everyone. Last night at sundown marked the beginning of the 8-day Jewish festival of Hanukkah. Hanukkah commemorates the victory of Jewish warriors over Syrian Greeks more than 2,000 years ago. The lighting of candles on a menorah recalls the story that a one-day supply of oil burned miraculously in the temple for 8 days. Also known as the Festival of Lights, Hanukkah celebrates the triumphs, both religious and military, with blessings, games, and festive foods. We'd like to wish all of our friends of the Jewish faith a very happy and blessed Hanukkah. Well, coming up next on FYI, Lisa Sugard has information about a blood drive in our area this week. And in sports, we chat with some former NFL players who are in our area for a football camp over the weekend.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
How would you like to lose inches and gain confidence just in time for the holidays? You're invited to Hit the Holidays Hard, a brand new high-intensity interval training boot camp that kicks off today at Core Fitness in Hazleton. No experience is needed for this 45-minute workout, which runs through February 5th. To register or to learn more, call Core Fitness 711 West Broad Street in Hazleton at 570-455-7818.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
For the past 2 days in the morning, it seems like we live in Antarctica with the cold and the ice, and then it heats up to 50 degrees in the afternoon. So here we are, and here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, partly cloudy. Our low will be 29 degrees with a north wind around 6 miles per hour. 4-day outlook now, mostly sunny on Tuesday with a high near 41, northwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy, low of 30 degrees. Wednesday will be partly sunny, high of 43. On Wednesday night, there is a slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 37. And on Thursday, partly sunny, high in the upper 40s. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low of 38. Friday looks partly sunny with a high of 48. And then Friday night will be mostly cloudy with a low of 39 degrees.
I have a question for you. Are you too busy this holiday season to donate blood? Well, we want to find out the answer to that with two important ladies here to tell us about a very special blood drive that is coming up this Wednesday at Lehigh Valley Hospital in Hazleton. Lisa Marie Halecki is here, and she is the Community Relations Specialist for Lehigh Valley Hazleton, and also Marie D'Amato, who is the Donor Resources Representative for the Miller Keystone Blood Center, who supplies the blood to the Lehigh Valley Hospital in Hazleton. Lisa, I'm going to start with you. We're all busy, we're shopping, we're cooking, we're baking, we're doing everything. You're hoping people will take out a few minutes of their time this Wednesday.
Absolutely. We're having the blood drive this Wednesday at Lehigh Valley Hospital in Hazleton, right on Broad Street. You go right in the main lobby. It's to your left. Someone will greet you, and it just takes a little bit of time to save someone's life. Like you said, are you too busy to save a life, especially during the holiday season? How important is it? How important is it for a friend, a neighbor, a loved one who may need that blood someday?
Yeah. We truly hope that people don't, but unfortunately they do, and you want to be guaranteed that that vital, life-saving blood is there. Marie, I'm sure you get so many questions on a regular basis from people. First of all, a lot of people, I guess, are afraid to give blood. What can you tell them to ease their fears?
It's a simple process. It really is. A stick of the needle, that is the most painful part when we test your iron. The actual blood donation takes less than 10 minutes. And I always tell people to think about the person that's in the hospital. They're the one who is really the one that is in the pain. They're waiting for the blood donation. Us donating blood is the simple part. You're actually saving someone's life when you donate blood.
Wow, that's really true. And the person who is giving blood, there's some benefits for the person giving blood as well.
Absolutely. When you come and donate blood, you're going to get a little mini physical. We're going to test your iron. We're going to check your blood pressure. We're going to tell you what your blood type is. We're going to take your temperature. And, and if something is wrong, we're going to let you know. So coming and donating blood, taking an hour out of your day there are a lot of health benefits to it.
Absolutely. And just quickly for people watching, who's eligible to give?
You have to be 110 pounds, at least 17 years old, and you want to be healthy the day of the blood drive. You want to make sure that you don't have any cold symptoms.
And they can go to your website for more information.
Absolutely. Giveapint.org. That is our website, and that'll tell you that can answer all your questions about donating blood. It'll tell you who is eligible, who is not eligible to donate blood. You can also go on there the day of and answer your screening questions. We have a process called iScreen, and that's one step that'll actually save you when you come in and donate blood. Your questions are already answered.
Wow, that makes the process even easier. So Lisa, people can call to register. They don't have to, but you'd like to know how many are coming?
Yeah, we would like to have people register if you can. So you can call 570-501-6204, ask for Janet, and she'd be more than happy to take your registration, take your name and your information. Another thing we're doing at Lehigh Valley Hospital is we are going to give those who come to donate a little coupon for our Hilltop Cafe, which has wonderful food, for a free meal. So just to say thank you for giving someone the opportunity to save their life.
Wow, that's really nice. So you're winning twice. You're helping someone with the gift of blood, and you're getting a meal in exchange for it. So this is really a wonderful experience, especially this holiday season. So many people busy. Take the time to give blood this Wednesday.
Thank you, Lisa. Lots of ways to help out this holiday season. Now here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on FYI. Pick 280, pick 3 660, pick 4 9343, and pick 5 06396. When we come back, the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard has some basketball scores from over the weekend.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
A new era of football in the Cole region kicked off on Saturday in the Valmont Industrial Park at the Gutsy Sports Academy. Former NFL and Arena Football League player Lamont White hosted his first football camp in the area with 3 other former NFL players. White came to the area to help out the Hazleton Area Boxing Club, and he's still doing that, but now he's also hosting football camps in the off-season. Aaron Beasley played defensive back in the NFL for 9 seasons. He says you would never want to watch a football game with him because it takes a long time to get through the game because he'll keep going back to look at certain plays. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, he was watching Florida take on Florida State, presumably alone, when he heard an announcer say there's 2 sports in Florida. There's football and spring football. Beasley says that was an epiphany, and that's what he wants to bring to his home state of Pennsylvania as the new governor of the Keystone State for the National Youth Football Organization. This is an important day for you. You're seeing it, the first really steps of year-round football in Pennsylvania, and it's an important day here in Hazleton.
It is. I mean, this is a hidden gem up here. You know, there's a lot of guys come from up here, but you know, it's usually linemen or maybe a quarterback once in a while. But what I'm trying to bring is the skill development.
Beasley will be running spring football leagues in the area with the NYFO. While getting repetitions in the offseason is extremely important, according to all 4 former NFL players at this camp, Reggie Beard, who signed with the Cowboys out of college, points out there's a balance for athletes.
You know, football and basketball and baseball now has become a year-round sport. It's not like it used to be, you know, in football season, then basketball season comes, you play basketball. A lot of these kids want to be specialized and work all year round in their craft. For me, I still think it's really healthy to play all 3 sports because one sport can help another sport. In this day and age of specialty sports, it's important for you to get somebody or get some people around you that really know what they're doing to help you get to that next level. And they also have to be able to help you. I go back again. They also have to be able to help you academically, because if you put all your eggs in the athletic part and neglect the academic part, then it's just going to make your journey a lot longer.
Nolan Schneider plays football in the Hazleton Area School District and wants to play at the varsity level next year. The wide receiver and defensive back is ready to put in the work, and he was at the camp over the weekend.
I learned that I have to keep my eyes down and keep my back down so that I don't get burned by the other wide receivers on defense.
Craig Taylor, who played with the Bengals, and Lamont White, who played with the Vikings, were the 2 other instructors at the camp. White plans on having more camps in the area. This one was sponsored by Hazel Park Packing. But why do you still believe in the area, and why do you think it's still such a great place?
I think the people are wonderful in Hazleton. It's a good town, and West Hazleton. They're all nice, all of them. They're all good people.
So you would encourage others to invest in the community as well?
Definitely.
So there's always been good people and good football in the coal region, and this group is trying to help continue that legacy. You'll hear from all 4 former NFL players on an upcoming episode of Out of Left Field. 2 of our local teams won basketball tournament titles over the opening weekend of play. Please turn your attention to the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard. The Marion Catholic Phillies beat Shamokin and Lourdes Regional to take the Lourdes Regional Tournament title. The Mono Area Boys, they won the Panther Valley Tip-Off Tournament with wins over Jim Thorpe, and then they beat Marion in the title game. The Colts did win their opening game. And at the Lady Cougar Tip-Off Classic, Hazleton Area lost in the title game to Harrisburg. They did win their opener, and then they ran into a Harrisburg team and Division I recruit Tysha Brown. Back to boys basketball now, as Hazleton Area and Shenandoah Valley got wins over the weekend. And Hazleton Area Wrestling, they had 8 top 7 finishes at the Tom Best Memorial Tournament in Williamsport. Jimmy Hoffman was second at 138 pounds. Jacob Maurer, Anthony Martuccio, and Steve Longazelle took home 3rd place finishes in their weight classes. Carson Kinney was 4th place in his. Carlos Cruz and Keith Lowry, they were 5th. And Chris Lasicki, he was 7th in their divisions. The Penn State Hazleton women's basketball team is ranked number 1 in the United States Collegiate Athletic Association Division II coaches poll, and they beat Penn State Du Bois over the weekend. The men suffered a loss. The Penguins, they won 11 straight games, then they lost one, won 4 straight, and now they've lost 3 over the weekend. They are still in first place, though, in the AHL Atlantic Division. Okay, here comes Ron Marchetti. It's time for Trivia Treats.
December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Hi, everybody. Today is the 74th anniversary of that humongous, horrible, and historic day. This is Trivia Treats. So let's go back before there was a Pearl Harbor Day, like 4 years before, to 1937, in a game to decide the Eastern Conference champion and a berth in the NFL championship game. The Washington Redskins crushed the New York Giants 49-14 at the Polo Grounds in New York. The crowd of over 58,000 was the 2nd largest in pro football history at that point. The Redskins went on to defeat the Chicago Bears 20-20 in the title game the following week at Wrigley Field. However, 3 years later in 1940, still 1 year before Pearl Harbor was attacked, 75 years ago tomorrow, in the NFL championship game, the Chicago Bears overwhelmed the Washington Redskins 73-0 at Griffith Stadium in Washington. The Skins were 9-2 and the Bears were 8-3. Both teams met on the same field 3 weeks earlier and Washington won 7-3. 10 different players scored 11 touchdowns. 3 Washington passers combined to throw 8 interceptions, 3 of which were run back for scores. The 73 points still stands as the all-time record for most by one team in any NFL game. Needless to say, it was the worst blowout in NFL history. And even more amazing, it was a championship game. Also on this day in 1955, exactly 60 years ago tonight, Dr. Joyce Brothers, a 28-year-old psychologist, answered questions delivered by host Hal March about boxing on the CBS television program, The $64,000 Question. Dr. Brothers knew all the answers and won the top prize. The show helped launch a long career for Brothers in the public spotlight as a TV personality and newspaper advice columnist. And if you remember, the $64,000 Question was the same program that a bus driver from Chauncey Street in Brooklyn announced to the studio and national TV audience when he was a contestant that he was going all the way. His name was Ralph Crandon. He made that promise before he even answered the very first question. That was for a lousy $200. Peanuts, the mother of God. He failed to answer that first question on the Honeymooners TV show, which I still watch till Friday. Stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Penn State Hazleton Choir, under the direction of Michelle Millington, will perform its holiday concert at 7 p.m. on Thursday, December 10th in Room 1 of the Costas Building. The public is welcome to attend. Our next announcement, the revitalization group Downtown Shenandoah Incorporated will be holding a soup and sausage sale beginning at 10 a.m. on December 10th at its downtown center located on Main Street. The cost for soup is $5 per quart, $2.50 per pint, and the cost for sausage hoagies is $3.50 each. Soup varieties include chili, chicken noodle, vegetable beef, and more. For info, call 570-462-2060. And finally, Senior Choice, a program for seniors from Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, will be holding their holiday party Sunday, December 13th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Lobitz's Safari Room. For more info, just call 570-501-6205. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Ferdinand Rudolph Zaunek of drums. Funeral is Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. from the Butler Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Carolyn Lodzinski of Sugarloaf. Mass is Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Good Shepherd Church. Friends may call Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. And George J. Bozar Jr. of Beaver Meadows. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. in the Most Precious Blood Church. Friends may call Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is John Meyer of Sugarloaf. John, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Former Hazleton Area High School pitcher Sal Biazzi just returned not too long ago from a trip to Cuba with the Penn State baseball team. We'll hear all about his travels tomorrow on FYI. Until then, take it easy, everyone.